Okay, so men like football and beer and steak and more football and,
Yep.
men stuff.
Right.
All the men stuff that we've mentioned in the past 2 episodes
Okay.
about men. Men like all that stuff here in America.
Right.
Is that bad?
No, for men to like football or any sport, right?
Okay.
Meat, beer. No, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay, so I guess the real question is, like, is there a biblical description of what men should like?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, should I have to like certain things in order to live up to God's manly standards?
Okay.
Or can I like whatever I want?
Right.
Like, if I liked putting on makeup, is that bad? Does that, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I see where you're coming from.
I wasn't, banging dudes. Also, I just liked makeup. Is that bad?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You feel me?
I'm going to answer the question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not...
All right. So I think...
You see what I'm saying?
I see.
Is there a verse in the Bible that says, must like beer, football, and steak, and don't like, makeup and RuPaul's Drag Race?
Right.
Otherwise, you're not a man.
Right.
Is there a Bible verses like that?
Yeah. No. So our I think, we talk about like what the likes are. Okay. So if we start like with defining, okay, but we want a man to be someone that has character, that's a provider, that's a protector. I think in general, that's probably where we would start,
Okay.
So you want a man with character, he's a provider, he's a protector, he's faithful, those kind of things. But yes, I think we're talking about our society. There's a whole lot of men in our society that like sports and meat and drinking beer and that's action movies like we talked about earlier, and that's all fine. Now being womanizers and being jerks, that's not okay.
Okay.
And so, do you have to like, for example, do you have to like sports to, or have to know how to fix your car or whatever to be a quote unquote man?
Okay.
No.
Are there things I can't like in order to be a quote unquote man, according to the Bible?
Can't like?
Not like sins, but
right. But like if you're, so for example, like you're a man and you like writing poetry. Okay. All right. Some would say, well, that's not very manly, but the reality is, well, we just mentioned him this earlier. David and a lot of other men, they're the ones writing the poetry that we have in the Psalms.
Okay.
And so, so if you like writing poetry, you like writing poetry. That's where good songs come from. They're poems basically put to music.
Okay.
And so, so if an individual's more into like the arts or into drama or things like that, instead of kind of your, what maybe considered like a stereotypical, kind of macho man or whatever, that's fine.
According to the Bible, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do Christians have such a huge problem with?
Well, I don't know if all Christians do, actually. I think it completely depends on where you're living, where you've grown up, who you're around, because there's a whole lot of, okay, so for example, in the Christian scene now, like the culture, Christian culture, right? It's a lot of skinny jeans. It's a lot of,
it's true.
Writing music. It's a lot of like dressing in clothes that wouldn't be necessarily considered, like that's the most manliest thing I've ever seen. Like they're not going hunting on the weekends,
Right.
And so like there is that reality. of that culture being there in church.
Okay.
So I think it completely depends on where you are. Like the church that I'm pastoring now is a much more blue collar church than the church I came from. And so where the cultures we're just really different in that way. And so I think it really depends on the church culture you're a part of.
What if you're a Christian man and everything that you enjoy is traditionally feminine?
Okay.
Does the Bible say I shouldn't be that way?
Okay. Well, but there's a massive difference between, someone that whether you're liking things that are more traditionally women or you're labeled as more effeminate.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are plenty of men that are effeminate and love Jesus or are not gay, and that's fine. Like I think in America, again, I think we have kind of tried to label this is what a man needs to look like, and I don't think there's like a way a man needs to look per se. I think that it's again, it's are we men of character? Are we providers? Are we protectors? Obviously, if there is an individual that is struggling with same-sex attraction, and if that's kind of where you're kind of going with this, then yes, that would be like, all right, you're struggling with same-sex attraction, but we've done episodes on this, so I'm not going to belabor this point. But like, all right, so let's talk about that, like what's going on. But as far as like, they like the arts, they like going shopping, are those things inherently not manly? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So God doesn't want to make my personality or the things I'm interested in be manly things.
Not in the way that it's defined in our culture.
Okay.
Because every culture is going to define things a little differently of what it looks like to be a man. You know? So I just think we have to be careful when we're using what's normal in culture and saying that, extrapolating that to saying that's the way God must view it.